goal, number 1, Caden Wolf. At midfield, number 5, Cole Little. At midfield, number 7, Giuseppe Santacroce. At midfield, number 8, Guzman Trigo. At forward, number 11, Brandon Nigarungo. At defense, number 12, Lucian Wabwanda. At defense, number 13, Javon De Jesus. At forward, number 14, Taha Husni. At forward, number 17, Volkan Selikol. At defense, number 20, Kyle Reinhardt. And at midfield, number 23, Diego Palma. The Wildcats are coached by Matt Reed and are assisted by Pete Melvin, Tom Edwards Adwar, Tim Reed, and Kenneth Levins.
Good evening, everybody, from Wildcat Field here in Marion, Indiana. It is the second round of the 66th Annual Men's Soccer National Championship. We are in the second round. It is the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats and the Milligan University Buffaloes. Of course, the Wildcats get a first-round bye, and the Buffaloes defeated the Crusaders of Madonna on Thursday on a snowy, cold, windy night. As you can see, the field not in the best condition it has ever looked, but it is certainly an upgrade from what we saw a couple nights ago. The heaters are still in both dugouts for the teams. You can see the tire tracks across the field that were used to plow the field and just compact the snow, make it a little better. But we are here, and it is great to have you here. Going over the starters, they were just announced. We'll go over them again for the Buffaloes. Number 1, Andrea Ayes. Number 2, James Baku. Number 4, Elias Simo. Number 5, Albert Montragal. Number 6, Semen Haroldstead. Number 7, Alex Panner. Number 8, Kai Slin. Number 9, Boyku Mbakani. Number 13, Johnny Salgado. Number 21, Marco Latanzi. And number 35, Justin Medeski. They are coached by Patty Sweeney. As for the Wildcats, in goal, Caden Wolf, a goal change for them. At number 5, Cole Little. Number 7, Giuseppe Santa Croce. Number 8, Guzman Trigo. Number 11, Brandon Nigarungu. Number 12, Lucian Wabwanda. Number 13, Stevian De Jesus Freire. Number 14, Taha Husni. Number 17, Volkan Selikol. Number 20, Kyle Reinhardt. And number 23, Diego Palma. The Wildcats are coached by Matt Reeb as we are underway. Glad you're with us here tonight on Saturday evening. Buffaloes coming off a dominant performance against the Crusaders of Madonna. They won that game 4-2. It was a sluggish game. Many cards were handed out by the officiating crew, but they were able to prevail, ending Madonna's season, hoping to advance to the quarterfinals. Wildcats, after starting the season undefeated, had a rough stretch to end, as they now have put themselves in a much tougher spot. They lost in the first round of the Crossroads League Championship. That was the last time that the Wildcats have played a game. That was almost 2 weeks ago. Lost that game to Spring Arbor in overtime. But they are looking to get back on track against the Buffaloes here tonight. That will go out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for Milligan. A little bit warmer night here in Marion as it was a couple nights ago, and that really isn't saying much. It was in the low 20s, high teens with the wind chill as the first shot attempt is up and over the crossbar. So we'll have a goal kick from Caden Wolf. The main starter for the Wildcats in goal this whole season was Logan Smith. He was there for a good portion, but Matt Reeb decided to make a change, so Caden Wolf gets the start at keep once again. As Palma able to find Nigarungu in the midfield and then turns it over. Great play there. And now they got Little here on the near side. Cole Little trying to make something happen, trying to take it to the 18. Nice physical play. That ball will go over the top of the goal, and so it'll be a goal kick this time for Milligan. Statistically, these two teams stack up rather well. Milligan averages 3.3 goals per game. They scored 4 on Thursday night. The Wildcats average 3.8 goals per game. Both of these teams average giving up just 1. course, the winner of this game will advance to the round of 16 in Wichita, Kansas. The other will go home with their season being over. On paper, the Wildcats right now have all the advantages. They didn't have to play in the first round. They got a bye. This is technically their home field, although it's considered a neutral site, a hosting site. Wildcats don't have to travel. They were off for the first round. They're able to, they don't have to go anywhere. So it really has been a great job or a great position that they have been able to put themselves in with the way that they played in the regular season to be able to host. Of course, the women's team for the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats, they won today against Cumberland's. But the Buffaloes are not all too concerned with the kinds of advantages that the Wildcats have been given so far. They're ready to come in here and knock off these Wildcats. Cross-field pass over to Baku, who will drop it back. And a nice place there by Wabwanda over to Husni. Husni with Naigarungu running, plays it into Naigarungu. Naigarungu with a shot, scores! And an early lead for the Wildcats. Brandon Naigarungu puts one in the back of the net with just 4 minutes and 20 seconds gone by in this one. Wildcats draw first blood and take the early lead off of a great Taha Husni play. Played it inside. IES overread it and was not able to get a hand on it. Naigarungu puts it in as we take a look at the replay. It was a great play by Wabwanda to start. Then IES not able to make a play on the ball. And Naigarungu with an easy opportunity to put it in the back of the net, and that is exactly what he did. Something to watch for as well is the condition of this field. It was frozen a couple nights ago, had several tractors and other vehicles moving around trying to clear out the snow, make it compact, do whatever they could to make it a playable surface. But then you look over at the goalie boxes, and it's really just a patch of mud and dirt, which really changes the way that these keepers are going to play. The field is about the same for the rest of the players as they're used to playing, but these keepers are going to have a challenge. And we already saw there early in this one, IES having a little bit of trouble getting his footing, and that allowed Naigarungu to give the Wildcats the early 1-0 lead. Wabwanda plays it over the top. He was looking for Husni, but unable to get it there in time. As they will drop it back to Wolf, who will send it up and away. Nice backspin on the ball. And it'll be controlled by Milligan in the midfield. They'll play it back to IS. Little is pressuring, and then he's able to get it away. And a steal there by Little. Little with a little bit of green grass in front of him. He'll dump it off to Naigarungu on the near side. Naigarungu tried to find Husni there in the middle. Wasn't able to get there. Wabwanda with a foul from behind. That's going to get called. So it'll be a free kick for Milligan. They drop it back over to Simo. Now on the far side controlling. They're able to find Salgado in the middle. Pressure by Naigarungu and has it taken away. It's Santa Croce taking it across midfield. Has it poked away. Santa Croce trying to get up. He's unable to. So Milligan takes possession. He's got Husni coming from behind. Able to get in the midfield. Wildcats with heavy pressure here. Players go down. No call as Santa Croce secures. And he's looking for Naigarungu on the far side. And Naigarungu's got it. He's got a couple guys running. He was looking for Celical. Instead, it'll go out of bounds, so it'll be another throw-in for Milligan. Imkani takes it inside, and a nice switch over to Baku. He's got Little right there. Little with a slide tackle to break up the attack for the moment. Baku's got it on the near side. He'll elect to drop it over to Medeski. Medeski waiting. Now they get over to Baku, working that sideline. Medeski waiting, is going to put one in the box. There's a runner's there, and then it is sent out of bounds, that time by number 13. That is DeJesus Ferreira. It'll be Kai Slynn taking this one. Slynn had a phenomenal game for Milligan as Wolf goes up in the air and secures that one. But Slynn had a tremendous game for the Buffaloes. He's able to put a couple in the back of the net, and those were crucial goals as they won that by 2 goals. Final score was 4-2. As Wolf sends that over the head of everybody. Medeski, the last line of defense, able to head it away. Husney with a physical play. Now Santa Croce has it, and it is poked away once again. Over to Celical, who will drop it to Santa Croce. Santa Croce takes it inside, trying to cut back. Fighting for possession, he's got to back it out. Ball's played over the top. Nigarungu is there. Medeski heads it away. And Kai Slynn now sends it out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in this time for the Wildcats. It'll be Vulcan Celical with the honors. Gets it into Husney in that corner. As Husney slips as he was trying to clear into the box. Nigarungu was the nearest one. Palma now drops it over to Trigo. Wabwanda, left foot strike into the box. Nigarungu's there. Nigarungu almost had another goal-scoring opportunity. Not able to corral it. The flag did go up. And now a whistle as Nigarungu was offsides. So we get a look at that replay here. And it was close, but I think the officials made the right call. It's really just any part of the body, whichever is, if anything's across, they're going to get that every time. We do not have the luxury of an official VAR, but I think that time it was enough to say that he was across. Now a whistle here. It'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats on the far side. They get it in to Santa Croce, who has to get rid of it immediately. Now Trigo will drop it. And a nice play there. But I believe that was DeJesus Ferreira. Now over to Celical. Santa Croce waiting. He's going to play it over to Celical. He's onside. Celical looking to get one in the box. He does. Little is there for the header. Little not able to capitalize. Husney has that one blocked. Palma's right there. Santa Croce can't get there, and it's cleared away. Wildcats have to reset for the moment as they try and double their lead and make it 2-0. Ball is skied up in the air, and I believe the Buffaloes were the last to touch it, and they are. So it'll be another throw-in. Wildcats giving themselves opportunities here early. Trying to advance to the round of 16 and be Kansas bound. As Santa Croce loses that one, it is sent out of bounds, and it'll be a throw-in. Last touch by the Wildcats, so Milligan with another throw. This is a Wildcat team that started the season 10-0, and after a loss to Grace, they won a couple more, and really just went on a poor stretch to end the season. Tied with Taylor, a win against Mount Vernon Nazarene, a loss to Huntington, a tie against Spring Arbor, and then a loss to Spring Arbor a week later in the Crossroads League tournament. And they are looking to avenge those losses and ties. So they got an early lead here. This is a good matchup for both of these teams. Milligan comes in number 11, the Wildcats at number 8. And a nice play here by Celik. Brings it inside. Celik was sending Husni and Nigarungu inside. It was deflected away. Santa Croce controls, though. Tries playing it in. Nobody's home. And IS will secure it. Comes out of his 6 in that mud patch that's in the middle of it. And takes his time. And slips as he punts it away. And then Palm is able to secure it. And Nigarungu, bad touch there. Imkani is over there. De Jesus Ferreira is able to find Palma in the midfield. And Celik is left alone on the far side. He's got plenty of green grass in front of him. Celik with Imkani coming from behind. He goes down. That's going to be a foul on Imkani. About 14 minutes have gone by in this first half. The Wildcats took an early 1-0 lead off of a Brandon Nigarungu goal. It was assisted by Taha Husni. All started from the back with Lucien Wabwanda. It'll be Santa Croce taking this free kick. Santa Croce on the approach. Puts it in the box rather well. He's got 2 guys there. As almost a goal-scoring opportunity there for, I believe that was De Jesus Ferreira. There was a bit of a miscommunication. There were 2 players there. It was Husni and De Jesus Ferreira, and neither really committed to it. And then Husni left it for De Jesus Ferreira. Had an easy opportunity. So the Buffaloes dodge a bullet, and they avoid going down in a 2-0 hole after that play. Corner kick is played short. Santa Croce with a little bit of space and a better angle goes off the face of a defender. Wildcats wanted a handball. It's not there. Trigo is being hit from behind. Santa Croce, right-footed strike. Yes, stands on his goal line, bats it down, and then will boot it away. I think that was a good no call by this officiating crew. As that pass is intercepted by Diego Palma. Nigarungu was waiting. Badesky came in and intercepted, but Cole Little is there to play hero. Now he's going to send Little on a run. Little with a one-on-one opportunity with IS. Left foot strike. Great save made by IS on the ground with the left arm. Goes up and it now is sent out of bounds. Great play made there by Andrea IS. And he keeps this at a 1-0 game. Ball is sent away. Now Palma switches it over to Little. Little waiting. He'll send it over to Nigarungu. Tries to get inside the 18. He's able to at the top corner. Sheds a defender. Nigarungu going on the end line. Nigarungu off of IS and then off of Nigarungu. Now they're going to drop it back to IS. Nigarungu was pressuring, but that ball is sent up in the air. The backspin on the ball is going to slow it down. Nigarungu was offside, so he is not going to bother touching that one. No need to kill the clock or kill the play. Goes right back to IS, who will scoop it up, and a left foot throw. They drop it to Medeski. Medeski waiting. Milligan employing a similar strategy that we've seen the Wildcats do time and time again. They play with it on the back line and just wait for the defense to break down. That time they rushed it a little bit and it is cleared away. So the Buffaloes will have to reset, and then a left foot strike skies it up in the air. It'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats on the far side near the midfield line. Any more fans in attendance here tonight? Have to assume that it's mainly those pulling for the Wildcats, given that this is their home field. We did see a few Milligan fans, members of the Milligan faithful here on Thursday night. It was cold, snowy, windy. Conditions were miserable, but there were still some Buffalo fans out there, so got to credit them for that. Now it's Medeski. Finds his man in the midfield as Panner sends that one up. Baku able to control it. Now they get it back to Panner. 1-2 opportunity. As Panner went down in the midfield, now it's Sagato with it. Switches the field on the far side. Now the Buffaloes with an opportunity. Too big of a touch as that one is poked away by DeJesus Ferreira. And DeJesus Ferreira with a full head of steam looking for Husni. Husni has that one go off the side of his right foot. And now Medeski controls again. Plays a ball over the top. Wolf has to come out of his box for it. Goes off his face, but he's able to save it. And Wabwanda has it, and he'll send it away with the left foot. And now Naigarungu on the counter. Naigarungu with plenty of space. Tries to bring it into the 18. Instead, he was looking for Husni. Now Naigarungu with it. Now it is cleared away. Little with the touch. Trigo back to Palma. And now they'll settle it down. A good opportunity there. Right idea by Wabwanda. He saw Naigarungu running. A little surprised that with that speed of his, Naigarungu didn't take it all the way. And I'm curious to see how soon will the Buffaloes employ subs. We saw number 22, Jet Carter, give all kinds of fits to the back line for the Crusaders. And I'm very interested to see how well he holds up against the Wildcats' defensive line tonight. Carter, one of the faster and more aggressive players on this Milligan roster. Just creates absolute havoc and chaos for defenses everywhere. They have it in the midfield here. That is Haroldstad, who will switch it to the far side. Now they drop it back. Naigarungu almost able to block that one. Reinhardt with the header. And Medeski misses that one. Now it's Husni. Baku was coming from behind and alertly cleared it away from Husni. Over the top ball is played. It'll travel to Caden Wolf. Very light pressure, and Wolf will walk up to it. He's got to be quick about it and really playing with it right there. A little dangerous there from Wolf. I guess he feels comfortable enough to do that. Hasn't played much this season. Logan Smith, of course, was the starting keeper for a majority of the season. And I guess heading into the playoffs, they decided to make a change. A nice 1-2 opportunity there. Santa Croce has to halt his run. There was backspin on the ball. Santa Croce then was looking for Husni inside. Now they get it inside. Palma controls. Dumps it off to Naigarungu, who will send it to Wabwanda. Wabwanda waiting. Gives it to Palma. Palma with a little bit of space. Has it to Naigarungu, who's being held up at the top of the box. They send it over to Husni. That ball is batted in the air. Husni with a bicycle attempt, and it's no good. To the right of the goalpost, and it'll be another goal kick for Milligan. And we have our first subs of the game for Milligan. And on comes Jet Carter, number 22. We were just talking about him a moment ago. These Wildcats were in attendance for the first half of the Milligan-Madonna game a couple nights ago, so they have seen what he can do. As Baku runs to the sideline, able to keep it in bounds, plays it up in the air. Carter slips. Palma goes up for it, goes up. Buffalo's hand. And McConney over on the far side. Players going down again. You would think there's still snow on this field with how many times we've seen players slip already. Little working against Baku. Dumps it off to Naigarungu. Little working on Mkani. They get it over to Trigo, who has that one taken away. Now Palma switching the field now. That is CELİK chasing it down. And he's able to get there on the far side. Working on Mkani. Gets by him initially. CELİK plays one into the box. Naigarungu is there. Ball is headed away. Then dropped back dangerously so. And then Simo clears it from imminent danger. Reinhardt trying to make a play. Now Carter sends his man. And that's going to be offsides just barely. These referees have called it tight. And that's the first offsides of the night against Milligan. The Wildcats have been guilty of it twice. As Santa Croce sends that one up in the air, it'll travel out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in for the Buffaloes. Inside 20 minutes to go here in the first half. The Wildcats lead 1-0 after an early goal by Brandon Naigarungu. And a nice tackle made there by Husni. Hit the ball. Naigarungu waiting. He's going to send Santa Croce. Santa Croce is going to take his time getting to that corner. And now that's going to cost him as it's going to go out of bounds. I'm not really sure what Santa Croce was doing there, as he was kind of taking his time. But the Buffaloes go quickly. Mkani trying everything he can to get away from Husni. And finally dumps it off. Buffalo's trying to get something going here. Wildcats have 8 shots already in this game. The Buffaloes have just 1. And that lone shot went off the face of Caden Wolf. As Palma takes it away. Physical play inside and a whistle. They're not going to signal advantage. And then Trigo tried to get a little ahead of himself. The referee blows it dead. Tells him to move it back, so it'll be Reinhardt with it. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a throw in, but we're going to get a couple subs here. So Husney will check out for the Wildcats. And Yerrick Carnegie comes on the field. Ball goes out of bounds. Wildcats last team to touch it, so it'll be a throw-in. Milligan trying to go quickly. Catch the Wildcats flat-footed. As Little intercepts that one. And then Reinhardt clears it away. This is a Wildcat team that is chock full of talent. Like we said, they started the season so well. And then as the season progressed, things started looking down for them. But right now, they're on the positive end of a 1-0 lead with about 15 minutes to go in this one. 15:35 to be exact. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Wildcat throw. As Reinhardt able to break that play. They were looking for Jet Carter. Right idea by Milligan. Now Medeski over to Baku. Pressure is coming from the Wildcats as Wabanda tried to clear it up. Hit it up in the air and then on a second chance able to get it back. Now it's Haroldstad getting it over to Baku. Over to Medeski, who will then send it back to Simo. And that ball is sent way up in the air. It will stay in bounds. Nigarungu was looking for Carnegie. That one's intercepted. Nice play there made by Jet Carter. Buffalo's trying to get something going here as Reinhardt shields and the ball goes out of bounds. Nice play made there by Reinhardt, the senior from Ohio. Fighting going on the far side as Carnegie went down. It's kind of slow to get up. Looked like he might have gotten stepped on. Buffalo's trying to counter. They send Baku on a run on the near side. He's got to get by Little. Baku is then going to back it up, sends it back to Medeski. Now over to Simo. Wildcats doing a nice job parking the bus on defense, marking each man and preventing any runs as Nigarungu clearly offsides that time. Great job by the back line for Milligan to force that offsides to be called. It wasn't even close. No need for VAR on that one. As an over-the-top ball is played, nobody's home for Milligan. So Caden Wolf will take his time and then pick it up as Latanzi was pressing. So Wolf picks it up and then goes down. As Wolf now slips, we've seen a number of plays where the goalkeeper goes to punt it and he has slipped at the edge of the 18. And now they send Carnegie on a run. Carnegie with that speed. Very similar to Nigarungu in their play style. And a nice play there made by Wabwanda, who has his shorts get grabbed. And that one was very clear for this officiating crew. And they're going to get Latanzi with that one. Goes over to make sure Wabwanda's okay. Lets him know there was no ill will or malice in that play. Just Those are some of the things that will happen in the game of soccer. And that time they're going to get Nigarungu again. He backs off after looking over at that official. So this Milligan line doing a great job at forcing the Wildcats into offsides being called. They're pushing it up and making these forwards uncomfortable as Santa Croce is pressuring. And then they clear it away. That ball goes over the head of Palma. Now it is secured by Panner. Panner who sends it up for Carter. Carter goes down. So Reinhardt with a clear, and Reinhardt goes down. This field here at Wildcat Field is not the greatest condition it has ever been in, as they send Little here on the near side. Cole Little finds Santa Croce. Waiting, looking. Now they chip it over the top. Little keeps it in. Left foot strike. Nobody's there for the Wildcats. Carnegie is there and has it poked away. Now plays inside. Now over to Wabwanda, guarded by Carter. Wabwanda trying to shake Carter, and that is a tough task for anybody. Carter continuing to play aggressively. Wabwanda has to clear it away to the other side. Reinhardt pressuring on the backside. That's Latanza with it, and Latanza able to get it out. Latanza in the midfield. Tries to switch it. It's Salgado. And players go down. Nigarungu with a shove. No call. Nigarungu then tries to send it over to Santa Croce. Baku is there, who will send it back to Medeski. Finds his man in the middle. That is Salgado. Medeski with control. Over to Montrago, who will dump it off to Panner. Over to Baku. Ball gets played to the back line. Reinhardt sends it away, and we got subs coming in for both teams. So Unai Cruz comes on for Marco Latanzi. Katsantanis comes in for Panner. Giannis comes in for Trigo. Sanchez for Santa Croce. And Arredondo for Vulcan Celical. Ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a quick throw in for Milligan. About 8 minutes to go in this first half. Milligan looking to answer before the 45 minutes runs up. As Wabwanda sends that over to Wolf, and then Wolf a great clearing over to Nigarungu. Good touch there. And they're going to get a foul called. And they might get Nigarungu as he was going up near the head area. And they will. Official ruling is an offsides. Thank you to Caden Foster, my graphics guy, for catching that. There was some physical play, and they blew the whistle right afterwards. It looked like they might get Nigarungu with that. Instead, they call offsides. Now it's Medeski with plenty of grass in front of him. Tries to send it over to Baku. Now Nigarunga with it in the midfield, and he was trying to get the 1-2 opportunity. Little was not on the same page. And good pressure there from behind. That was from Arredondo. Over to Little. He's got Sanchez running. Instead, they give it back to Arredondo. Physical play in the midfield. Referee signals play on. And Carter comes out of that mess with it. Both of these teams looking to advance to Wichita, Kansas. Right now, the Wildcats on the positive side of a 1-0 score against the Milligan Buffaloes. As Baku able to get by his man. Baku left foot strike into the box. Nobody's there initially. As they dump it off to Haroldstad. Over to Baku. Second chance here. Tried the 1-2. Wasn't there, so they drop it back. Haroldstad will now send it to the back line. Nigarunga is pressuring, but they're able to break it up rather easily. That was Simo making a nice play. Ball is played over the top. Wabwanda and Carter going against each other like a rebound. And now they send it to Nigarunga, who's got a little bit of space, and he's got great speed. Nigarunga on the far side trying to get something going. Wildcats are not there. Nigarunga goes down, and I believe they're going to signal a goal kick. And they will. Nigarunga went down. It didn't look like there was too much contact on the far side. At least nothing egregious. Clock continues to move. 4:40 to go. After a hot start for Indiana Wesleyan, it has cooled off. Neither team has really been able to capitalize on their opportunities. The Wildcats with 8 shots in this half. The Buffaloes with just 1. And we've been stuck at that stat line for about the past 15 minutes. It has really just been a battle for the midfield. Seen a couple of over-the-top or through balls being played, and those were either stopped by the center backs or it was ruled offsides. That one usually going against the Wildcats. They've had a number of through balls where players were offsides. A couple of them were waved off as the Wildcats knew that they were offsides, chose not to give the Buffaloes a free kick. A nice 1-2 opportunity here. Buffalo's trying to get something going. It's Carter on the far side. Carter will stop. Right foot strike into the box. There are several Wildcats there. Haroldstad has to drop it over, and that is Salgado with it, playing it over to the far side. And now they got to reset. It was a well-designed play as Carter put it in a decent spot. The only problem was there was about 1 Buffalo to 8 Wildcats in that box. So they have to reset it. In the box now, right foot strike is on the ground. Little might have gotten a piece of it. And the official is going to say no, it'll be a goal kick. Milligan certainly thought Cole Little got a piece of that on that slide tackle attempt. As Unai Cruz is pleading his case with the official. It is to no avail. That is just the second shot of the night for Milligan. Kane Wolf sends it away, able to keep his footing. Under normal circumstances, that would not be something to highlight, but we've seen the keepers slip and slide several times in this game. As Tito Sanchez, after a nice move, sends it back to Wabwanda. Now it's Reinhardt in the midfield. So far, the Wildcats have been able to handle Jet Carter rather well with his speed and aggressive style of play. He's very good at pressing the back line, but they've done a pretty good job thus far at breaking it down and forcing him to A, spend all of his energy, and B, just put him at a spot where they can cut back and then find the open guy. Now over to Sanchez. He's got Carnegie running on the left side. He likes to play it to him, but Baku is there to poke it away. Great defensive play there made by Baku, and Reinhardt is able to poke that one away, and then Haroldstad sends it up, and a shove there on Carter, and that's going to be a foul on Wabwanda. And the Buffaloes trying to go quick as we approach a minute to go. Cruz is sending everybody up. Carnegie slowly backs away. And he's got more than his 10. As Carnegie and Cruz jawn with each other. Cruz sends one into the box there. It's a whole mess of Wildcats and Buffaloes down there. It will go out of bounds, booted well away. As it was close to the end line, that could have been a corner kick. Instead, it'll be a throw-in. Buffaloes get it in quickly, and then it is sent away. Over the top ball is played into the box. Wolf comes out for it. He's caught out of position, but Sanchez is there to clear it away for the moment. Cruz working on his man, and it is poked away, and then Palma sends it past the midfield line. Great play made by the Wildcat defense. As the clock continues to run, about 10 seconds to go in this first half, Ayes will try and get something going. Ball is set way up in the air. Reinhardt is there, heads it back up in the air, and that is how the first half will end. Your score, the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats 1, the Milligan Buffaloes 0. We'll be back with second half action in the 66th annual NAIA Men's Soccer Championship second round after this.
Check, check, 1, 2.
Welcome back to Wildcat Field. Your score in the second round game between the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats and the Milligan Buffaloes. Wildcats won, the Buffaloes nil. That goal coming from Brandon Nigarungu, assisted by Taha Husni. Second round here in the 66th Annual Men's Soccer National Championship in the NAIA. Milligan coming off an impressive victory against the Crusaders of Madonna. They won that game 4-2 here on this same field on Thursday night. It was a snowy, wet, cold, and windy game, but the Buffaloes were able to prevail in that one. But they find themselves right now in a 1-0 hole. They got about 45 minutes to tie this thing up or take the lead. Otherwise, their season will come to a close, and the Wildcats will advance to Wichita, Kansas. In that half, the Buffaloes with just 2 shots, which is way down from what we saw a few nights ago against the Crusaders. Wildcats with 8. One of those able to find their way in the back of the net, courtesy of Brandon Nigarungu. Wildcats also have a new keeper starting tonight. It is Caden Wolf. We saw him a lot last year. He started this season, then they went to Logan Smith, and after a number of games, head coach Matt Reeb decided he had seen enough and went back to Caden Wolf. And right now he's played a pretty good game. We've seen both keepers slip and slide inside the 18s. As you can see on the cameras maybe, there's a dirt patch near the goal line in both of these boxes. That, of course, coming from Thursday night's game. This field not in the best condition, but the officials and the players both felt like it was good enough to play on, and that's really all that matters at the end of the day. As Husni cannot split defenders there in that near corner, so it'll be a throw-in coming from Vulcan Celikul. Celikul gets it into Husni, gets it back to Celikul, almost lost it out of bounds, and then it is poked out of bounds, so we got Celikul will throw it in a little closer to the corner flag on the near side. As Santa Croce takes it to that line, goes down low. There's nobody home. So the Buffaloes are able to clear. That time, that was Panner with it. And now Kai Slynn, guy we haven't said enough about in this game. He's been relatively quiet. He had a very active game on Thursday. He's able to put a couple in the back of the net. It's also been, so far, a relatively clean game played by both of these teams. We've seen just a few common fouls. No cards have been distributed thus far. We saw, I believe, 8 or 9 cards on Thursday night's game. Buffalo's looking for the equalizer. Defense for Indiana Wesleyan has done a nice job stifling the attack for the Buffaloes, and they just have not really been able to get comfortable on offense or get really anything going for the most part. They've had a couple corner kicks, a couple throw-ins deep in Wildcat territory. But with a 1-0 lead, the Wildcats have really committed more to the defensive side of the ball. As we got a goal kick, great play made on the far side. I believe that was Lucien Wabwanda disrupting the play. Ball is played over the top and then headed down. And running with that one, that is Panner. Panner trying to get something going, a collision with Cole Little. no foul is called. Cole Little gets up, frustrated with that official on the far side that nothing was given. But it'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats nonetheless, as Little is the one to throw it in. Husney heads it up and towards the center of the field, getting it away from that sideline. And pressure coming from the Wildcats. The Buffaloes able to break it for the moment. Now they switch it over to the near side. Controlling that one is Montreuil. Now it's Medeski. Or no, that is Simo, excuse me. Trying to make something happen. Panner has that one taken away by the other number 7. That's Santa Croce. Buffaloes wanted a foul called in the midfield. Another player goes down. That time it's Nigarungu, but Husney has it on the far side. A lot of Buffaloes back there. Husney has little support. He's got to back it in. He'll now switch it over to Celikul. He's got Nigarungu running on the right, chooses not to take him. Celikul almost an over-the-top through ball opportunity. It was headed away. Right idea there by Guzman Trigo. As now DeJesus Ferreira goes up and airborne. Gets clipped while he's in the air, so that'll be a foul. I believe that was Montreuil, the one who got a piece of him. Take a look here. Went up trying to shed that tackle attempt and was unable to. The ball was not contacted before the hit on DeJesus Ferreira, so that's going to be a foul every time. Or it should be anyway. As it'll be Santa Croce taking the kick. 4 Wildcats to the left. Nigarungu goes over to be the 5th. Santa Croce plays it into the box. Header scores by Kyle Reinhardt. And the Wildcats extend their lead. They lead 2-0 now over the Milligan Buffaloes. Great play by Giuseppe Santa Croce. And Kyle Reinhardt with a diving header, able to find the back of the net. They have drawn first blood at the start of both halves. They now lead 2-0 as we get a look at that replay. Great play as Reinhardt came from behind. He was left alone. Timed his run perfectly. And those are the kinds of plays that the Wildcats have been looking for these past few games. They now find themselves with a 2-goal cushion with 38 minutes to go in this one. Buffaloes are going to look to answer here. And they have not been able to really get anything going offensively. And now they got to commit even more to offense, as they are now in a 2-goal hole. And this is a Wildcat team that was concerned about them being rusty. The last time they played was on Wednesday, November 6th. It has been 17 days since the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats have played in a meaningful soccer game. They lost that game 2-3. And it was a week before that was their last regular season game. So they have really been inactive in terms of games played, as Caden Wolf secures that one and goes down. He'll take his time. Kyle Reinhardt in that header, that was just his 2nd goal of the season, and no better time to do it than in the national tournament here in the 2nd round. Reinhardt, one of the captains on this team, the senior from Ohio. This player goes down. There's going to be a foul called here, as I believe that was Santa Croce, another one of the captains on this team. He went down. So it'll be a free kick for the Wildcats. I believe it is Palma who will just dump it off to Little. Over to Husney. Ball is taken away for the moment. It goes off Husney. He cannot save it from the end line, so it'll be a goal kick for the Buffaloes. It'll be Ayes who takes it quickly. Buffalo's trying to catch the Wildcats flat-footed in transition. Now they'll work out of it from the back line. A lot of players that we saw who were very active and involved in the action on Thursday have not really been a factor here. Players that come to mind, Kai Slynn, Imkani, those guys, we caught their name so many times on Thursday, and the Wildcats have done so far an excellent job at shutting them down. So the question may need to be asked of Patty Sweeney, how soon until he starts bringing in subs, trying to get a different look lineup here. After the subs were brought in for the Buffaloes, the Wildcats really struggled to get anything going in that first half after the goal by Nigarunga. The subs came in, the whole lineup and I guess MO of the Buffaloes seemed to change. And the Wildcats were not able to make good adjustments there. They didn't let up any goals, but they really were not able to get anything going offensively. As Nigarunga on the run, that's going to be another offsides. He's upset about it, but it was clear as day. He had a couple of steps on that back line. He's been caught several times in this game being behind that line. As another player goes down, this ball over the top for Latanzi. Latanzi left foot strike. Wolf able to secure it at the edge of the 6. So a bit of a scare there. A nice idea there. Latanzi had steps on all 3 defenders there. Reinhardt was in there alongside CELİK. As Husni has that one taken away. Right now, the key in this game, the Wildcats have really just dominated the midfield. They've been able to possess the ball well. And anytime the Buffaloes have taken it in that area, they've been able to stop the attack. As Husni, a 1 over too little. Ball hit number of people's hands, no call. Husni with a strike, no good. Trigo has that one taken away. And now they're looking for Latanzi again. De Jesus Ferreira is charging. Latanzi trying to get the edge. He is unable to, and De Jesus Ferreira goes down, and that's going to be a foul. As De Jesus Ferreira holding his head and wants to make sure he's okay. Latanzi walks over. Checking on De Jesus Ferreira. There was no really ill will or bad intentions there. De Jesus Ferreira gets up as the referee signals for a stoppage of the clock as we take a look at that replay there. Yeah, Latanzi just trying to get the edge, and both players are being physical. That was just one where it's just kind of the nature of the game. Happens from time to time, but looks like De Jesus Ferreira is okay, so glad to see that. Clock is stopped, though. 33:14 left to go. It'll be Caden Wolf taking the free kick. Just a different look goal kick at this point. Both of these teams know what's at stake here. Wildcats have put themselves in a good position to advance as that ball goes off of Mikani. And Selko gets it in quickly to Santa Croce. They tried the 1-2. It's not there as that ball is taken away by Katsantanis. And Kai Slynn pressuring De Jesus Ferreira. They drop it back to Wolf, and Wolf shanks it. The backspin carried it, and now Wolf is out of position. Slynn's got it at the edge of the 18. He'll drop it to Imkani. Buffalo's trying to get back. Imkani in the box, headed away by Reinhardt initially. Reinhardt is there to clear it away with the right foot. And so now the Buffaloes will have to reset. It's Medeski. Right foot strike. That ball is tipped. I believe Nigarunga was the one who got a foot on it. And now they'll have to play it over to Montrigal. Montrigal, right foot strike. Switches over to Baku. Little is over there for defense. Now it's Medeski. Left foot strike on the ground into the box. It's there as that ball is on the ground, and we got a foul called. It is outside the 18. I believe they're going to get Giuseppe Santa Croce with this one, as I believe that was Montrigal or Panner. One of those two was contacted as they were trying to switch it over to Latanzi. So the Wildcats do dodge a bullet because it was not inside the 18, so no penalty kick has been awarded. It will be a free kick, though. Take a look here at the top of the box. Yeah, player went down. The ball was not contacted. That's going to be a foul every time. And taking this one is Elias Simo. Simo, a defender from Spain. Referee gives him his 10. Simo, right foot strike. It's on the ground, gets by Wolf, almost a goal as it goes to the left side of the goalpost. It was deflected by the Wildcats line, so it'll be a corner kick for the Buffaloes. Buffaloes shifting around inside in the box. Well-placed ball. It's headed up in the air. Mkani is there for the Buffaloes. Right foot touch. He's got to back it out to Baku, who's got space. Palma is pressuring. He plays it over to the right side. And running onto that one is Panner. Physical play there from Wabwanda, who sends it up, and it curves inside, so it somehow stayed in bounds. Now Nigarungu has it. He's got space but no support. Now Trigo sends it up. Nigarungu with that great speed working on Baku, who then sends it out of bounds. So the Wildcats with an opportunity. They're able to not only dodge a bullet, but now put the Buffaloes on their heels. So we approach the 30-minute mark here from Marion. Little working on the far side. Nigarungu picks it up. And they tried the 1-2 with Trigo. It wasn't there. It'll travel out of bounds, so it'll be a throw-in. Buffaloes have 2 players at the line ready to sub in. Or no, maybe that's just one. I believe that is Jet Carter. And now the referee signals for a stop, and now they throw it in. Trigo trying to get it over to Celico. Came off his foot wrong, so Celico's got to come back for it. Palma was directing traffic, told him to hit it to De Jesus Ferrer, and he did. A slide tackle there. Nice attempt by Katsantanis, but Little takes it away on the far side. Little trying to cut back inside, and he does. Looking, now dumps it off. This is Husney. Husney trying to regain his balance. He does. Trigo over to Nigarungu. Nigarungu waiting. There were several Buffaloes there. Now it is sent away. De Jesus Ferrer working on Panner. Panner trying to get by De Jesus Ferrer. Physical play. There's no call. Santa Croce now has it. Santa Croce will try to work inside the box. He gets it over to Celico. Right foot strike inside. Poked away. And now it's Mkani with tons of space in front of him. Mkani waiting for the Buffaloes to give him some help. He's got Panner on his left. He's got Slyn on his right. He gives it over to Panner on the near side. Panner, a bad pass there. He's working on Palma. He goes down, and that's going to be a foul called. Palma didn't get much contact on him, but it was enough for the referee to signal for a foul to be called. It'll be Monteagle taking this one and quickly getting it over to Katsantanis. Right foot strike outside the box, and it is poked away by De Jesus Ferreira. Katsantanis is right there. Right foot strike. Panner was trying to find Kai Slyn, and it is poked away by the Wildcat defense. And now cleared away with the left foot. Nigarungu is there running. It is played short of him, and the Buffaloes break up that one, and they control it in the midfield. This is Monteagle. Gets it over to Baku. Dropping it back. Medeski. Now Haroldstad plays it over to Baku on the far side. Right foot strike into the box. And Wabwanda gets control of it. Over to Husney. Plays it over to Nigarungu. With a lot of space in front of him. He doesn't have a ton of support. He may try and go one-on-one here. Nigarungu takes it into the attacking third. He's got Husney to his right. And Husney able to get there in time. Husney plays it back to Nigarungu at the edge of the 18. Nigarungu, no pressure. Left foot strike. It's poked away. And Milligan trying to control it. Santa Croce is pressuring, and it will travel out of bounds as Cole Little let that one go. And no subs yet. And now they will.
For the Buffaloes, number 13,
So
Coming in for the Wildcats, number 19, Carnegie.
Carnegie checks back on for the Wildcats. And for the Buffaloes, Johnny Salgado and Jet Carter check in. The Buffaloes have had a number of opportunities with through balls and over the top. And now you plug in a guy like Jet Carter, who is electrifying working against the back line. That could be something that could get the Buffaloes back into this one with 26:38 left to go. The clock is stopped for the moment. And they get it in. Little was the one who threw it in. Nice play made on the back line. Now ball is played over the top. They are looking for Carter. And player goes down in the midfield, no call. This pressure has been persistent from this Milligan team. Now it's Little with space in front of him, takes it into the attacking third. Carnegie may have been offsides. It doesn't matter as that one is broken up. And now it's Haroldstad with it. Haroldstad, one of the captains for this Buffalo team. They switch it over to Montregal. Was able to find Panner. Panner, high kick. Reinhardt is there, and he heads it away. He's got Husney with support. And now back over to Panner. Panner switches the field to the far side. Baku is nowhere near it. Doesn't even attempt the run, but Wabwanda will head over there for the throw-in. About 20 minutes have gone by in this second half. The Wildcats lead 2-0. First goal coming from Brandon Nigarungu. Just 4 minutes into this one, and then almost 7 minutes into the second half, Kyle Reinhardt added to the score. And that is how we ended up with a 2-0 score with 25 minutes to go from Marion, Indiana. Buffalo still have plenty of time to get something going. They don't need to rush anything. There is a tendency to do that, especially in a game where you've only been able to get 4 total shots. This is a Buffalo team that averages 3.3 goals per game while only allowing 1. For the Wildcats, they average 3.8 goals per game while only allowing 1. As Montregal has a chance well over the goal, and that'll be a goal kick for the Wildcats. We take another look at that shot. Not a bad idea. He had plenty of space in front of him, but hooked it high and wide. I'm not fully opposed to an aggressive shot-taking strategy, especially with your season on the line. Clock continues to tick away. But I think there's a difference between a risky shot and a dumb shot. Right there, that was a risky shot, but I am fine with that as Carter has it on the far side. Carter then loses it. He's working on Cole Little. Players go down. No foul is called. And now Nigarungu has it near the midfield line and gets it up to Carnegie. There was no offsides called. The Buffaloes are incensed. Their back line pleading with that far official on the near side, the side judge, but to no avail. But it will be a throw-in for the Wildcats. It'll be Cole Little who's able to get it in. And then Carnegie got stepped on the far side. And these officials have really let the boys out there play. So we've seen a number of players get hit from behind, clipped, tackled, checked, you name it. The referees seem to be letting it go. But not in a dangerous way where player safety is an actual concern. Half the time has expired here in this second half. The Wildcats in the driver's seat with a 2-goal lead. Just over 20 minutes away from advancing to the round of 16 and being Wichita, Kansas bound. The Buffaloes trying to knot this thing up. And they got a ways to go. But if they can get a ball in the back of the net here, have about 20 or so minutes to work with, it could still be anybody's game. But they got to get something going now. As they were looking for Carter on the far side, ball goes out of bounds. It'll be a Milligan throw. I believe that is Baku taking this one. They get it into Carter. Carter overplayed it, and now Carter goes down, and no call, as it will be a goal kick for the Wildcats, and we got a sub coming in for the Wildcats. So Trigo checks in for Taha Husni. Caden Wolf to take this one. He's able to keep his footing, but a low short kick, and it is controlled by Panner. Panner trying to make a move, and he gets clipped hard by DeJesus Ferreira. As Panner gets up, no card is issued. But a clear foul there. Panner went down hard. He was able to get up. Glad he's okay. So another free kick opportunity. Last time the Buffaloes had this, they were a few inches away from putting one in the back of the net. It'll be Salgado taking this one as we take a look at that replay. Panner just trying to make a move. And a hard foul. Salgado on the approach, right foot strike, plays it in, tried for the left goal post. It was wide of it. So another goal kick for the Wildcats as we have another sub coming in, this time for the Milligan Buffaloes.
Subbing in for the Buffaloes, number 16, Unai Cruz.
So Unai Cruz checks in. And not a bad idea there from Salgado. He saw the whole line was shifted to the right, thought he'd try the left. Caden Wolf favoring to that right side of the goal. Salgado just not able to put it in the right place. And they come up empty-handed. As Carnegie with a great run from behind, able to take it away. Carnegie takes it into the box. He's got a one-on-one with yes. He was looking for Santa Croce. Croce with the left foot over the goal. And it will be, I believe, a goal kick. No, it'll be a corner. So that one was tipped. It was tipped out of bounds. Thought it looked like an awkward shot. It was a great selfless play by Carnegie. He was looking for Santa Croce in the midfield, just at the top of the box. As an over the top ball is played, and now it's Celical. Celical, left foot strike, it's deflected away. Now Celical goes to get it himself. DeJesus Ferreira working inside, has it poked away, and now sent away. It's Trigo who plays it inside. He's looking for Carnegie. Carnegie is able to get there. That's Nigarungu. And Santa Croce blocks that clear attempt, so the Wildcats with another chance. Santa Croce goes down. No foul is called, and it will be a throw-in, I believe, for the the Wildcats. And now we got a player down. Santa Croce is outside of the 6, taking his time. As he's able to get up. Just had to stretch out a little cramp. Nothing too crazy. 18-18 left on the clock. It'll be Cole Little to throw it in. Throws it in low. That's Nigarungu on the far side. Nigarungu waiting, has that pass tipped away. And now Jet Carter, a slide tackle to break up that attack. And there's that hustle we've seen so much from Jet Carter. Continuing to be an impact player coming off the bench for the Buffaloes. As that ball is tapped away. Now it's Carter on the far side. Drops it back over to Baku. As that one is almost intercepted. And now running with this one, that is Montrego, who dumps it off to Cruz. Cruz plays it inside for Carter. Players go down. No foul is called. And Wabwanda tries to send it away with the left. He slipped, but Nagarugu is there after the chaos. Trigo switches it over to DeJesus Ferreira. Carter coming from behind. He has to cut it back and then drops it over to Reinhardt. Now a through ball opportunity is played. Nobody's home. And IS gets it quickly. And then a left-hand rollout. Buffaloes play with it in the back line. They shift it over to Cruz as Celico with an interception. I don't think that Cruz saw him coming from behind. Physical play. Celico able to shake him off. It's Santa Croce now. Santa Croce switches it over to Nagarugu. Nagarugu waits, has it poked away. And now it is Baku who will play it into the midfield, and that one is taken. Now it's Palma who will find Celico on the near side. And a high switch as Baku had Nagarugu charging. It gets it away. A beautiful clear there for Milligan. Ball is played back to Kane Wolf, who will switch it to DeJesus Ferreira. Wabwanda taking his time. He finds Cole Little. Little with a little bit of physicality, able to shake a defender. Cuts it back inside. He sends Carnegie on a run. Carnegie trying to shake a defender. Trying to shake Montrego. He is unable to. Great help there from the far side. Shot taken. Trigo scores! Guzman Trigo makes it 3-0 with 15:28 left to go. The Wildcats can taste it. They are 15 and a half minutes away from advancing to the round of 16 in Wichita, Kansas. It started with a Yarrett Carnegie run, and then Trigo able to take the rebound, and a great shot over. Yes, there's not much he can do there. And the Wildcats pouring it on now. Just the 11th shot of the night for the Wildcats. 15:28 left to go. And the sand in the hourglass continues to run out for the Milligan Buffaloes. This really all has started with the Wildcats controlling the midfield and doing a nice job making runs. And they have a lot of speed up top. And for the Buffaloes, this is maybe a tough one to swallow for a while because they really have been hanging with the Wildcats throughout this game. Despite the fast start for the Wildcats, they played rather well for the remainder of that first half, and they still have been able to give themselves opportunities. They just have not been able to capitalize. Wildcats still trying to add to this score. Wildcats really parking the bus now. They got 10 players back. Nagarugu the only one up. And there is a danger playing that way. When you play somebody back, then on offense you got to send everybody up. It may tire out the rest of your team. However, the Wildcats don't seem all too concerned with that as CELİK plays that up in the air, and it is headed away by Trigo. Now it's Sanchez. A back heel from Naigarungu, a nice 1-2. Naigarungu trying to make something happen as Carnegie slipped on the far side. Turf Monster got a hold of his ankle. And IS with a left foot clear. It'll travel past the midfield line. And Palma able to come away with it. Nice bit of juggling to bring it back to his body and secure it. Now over to Naigarungu. Carter going full speed at Caden Wolf. He's got to get rid of it. Almost a blocked clear. And now a foul has been called. I believe that's a handball. As Kyle Reinhardt signals to the bench to Matt Reeb to get a sub for number 13, Sivian De Jesus Ferreira. So he will go down. Couldn't quite see what happened on that play. Could be cramping, could have been a non-contact injury, but I believe they will bring in Lucien Wabwanda. Or no, that is Taha Husni on the defensive end. Clock has stopped, 13:01 left to go. Wildcats with a 3-goal lead over the Milligan Buffaloes. Yep, so Taha Husni will check in. As Alexander Krogh checks in. As Tito Sanchez has it in the midfield. Players go down, and that's going to be a foul against the Wildcats. They're going to get Carnegie with a foul, and now the clock has stopped, as I believe Carnegie poked it away after the foul was called. But the Buffaloes are trying to go quickly here, trying to chip away at this lead, find some semblance of an offense. They drop it back to Ayes, who has to quickly get it away because of the pressure from Naigarungu. They play it back to Salgado. That ball goes out of bounds, so it'll be a Wildcat throw. Ball's played high up in the air. A couple Buffaloes are able to get a hold of it. And now a nice run here. That was Latanzi. And that ball is sent over to the corner. Slide tackle by Latanzi. It goes out of bounds. So it'll be a Wildcat throw. But a brilliant over-the-top ball. That is the second time today we have seen a great run by Latanzi, able to get behind the Wildcat defenders after the ball was played, so no offsides was called. And that was the right call by the judge on the far side. And a shank of a clear right there. It'll go out of bounds. And throwing this one in, it will be Montregal. They play it back to him. Now they drop it. Over to Medeski. Now they play it over to Carnegie. Carnegie has one defender to beat, gets by him. Carnegie, one-on-one opportunity. Yes, great save made by Adria Yes. And there's another reason why the Buffaloes were able to hang around in this game for so long. He made a number of incredible plays, especially in that first half, able to stop several one-on-one opportunities. And as a goalkeeper, that could get your confidence high when you stop him, but it can kill him if you don't. As Carter just out of his reach. As Trigo loses the initial footing on that one, gets a shove in the back. Now it's Salgado who will play it over to Carter. Carter out of his reach, and it will travel out of bounds. Jet Carter not able to get there in time. And the clock has stopped again at 10:13 left to go. take a look at that replay. Carnegie able to get by everybody. A great save, though, by Ayas, able to get down on the ground. As the sub has come in for the Wildcats. This time it is number 24, Leonardo Costa. And Guzman Trigo, who accounted for that third goal, will head to the bench. It appears his night will most likely be over with 10 minutes to go in this one. Ball is played high up into the air. Now it's Nigarungu with it in the midfield. He finds Carnegie as CELİK is calling for a switch. He's open on the the near side, excuse me. And a handball is going to be called. Wildcats with another free kick opportunity. Clock continues to move. They dump it off to Little. Plays it over to Husney. Now it's Costa. He's able to find Tito Sanchez. Nice 1-2-3 action right there. Sanchez dumps it off to Carnegie, who has it over to CELİK. CELİK trying to get something into the box. He has to beat his man, and he does. CELİK on the ground. Great play made. That time by number 4, Elias Simo. It'll be a throw-in for the Wildcats. It'll be Volkan CELİK. He's looking for Husney. Goes out of bounds, and it'll be a corner kick for the Wildcats. And it'll be CELİK taking this one. Palma comes up short as an option. And now they trade places. It'll be Palma taking it with CELİK moving into the box. Ball's played over the top. Now it's Sanchez. Sanchez goes down. Nobody touched him. He slipped on the ground, but it is headed away. And running with that one is Cruz. Cruz over the top ball. He's looking for Latanzi. Wolf comes out of the 18 and sends it high over the Wildcats dugout. And the Buffaloes trying to go quickly here. They switch it over to Krogh. They play it back to Montragl. High over the top ball is played. It's over the initial line of defense. But Latanzi has it. He drops it over to Salgado. Players continuing to slip and slide as this turf, I guess, is still pretty wet and frozen down, as Wolf had it initially, went out of his hands, and now it's going to be a corner kick for Milligan. So Ethan Hayes checks in for the Buffaloes. First time we've said his name tonight. Over the top ball is played, goes over the initial line. Wolf goes down on the side. Now it's Carter who will dump it off, and poked away that time by CELİK. As Caden Wolf slipped on the goal line and trying to get by his man. That is Cruz. Plays it inside. It is poked away. Now Nigarungu hits Carnegie on the right side. Carnegie has a defender to beat. Carnegie plays it into Nigarungu inside. Carnegie over to Nigarungu. Nigarungu over the crossbar. And a missed opportunity from Brandon Nigarungu. That definitely would have sealed it. Now the Buffaloes going quickly. No time to catch their breath after that dodge bullet. Buffaloes have it in the midfield. They try and switch it to the outside, and not able to get there in time was Krogh, so it'll be a Wildcat throw. It'll be Vulcan CELİK taking this one as we approach the 5-minute mark here from Marion, Indiana. And physical play from behind. Believe that was Montrego working against Nigarungu. He had him held up from behind like he was just trying to give him a hug. But the officials let that one go. It is Cole Little now who brings it across the midfield line and then whiffs on the second chance opportunity. Now they play it to the back line. As Cole Little has really played a phenomenal game from that wing position. He has done a nice job controlling the ball, moving it inside and breaking down the defense as the player goes down, and another opportunity that the Buffaloes are not able to get to come through to fruition as Haroldstad had it at the top of the 18 and CELİK poked it away. And I think if you were to ask the Milligan Buffaloes offensive players, how would you describe the Wildcats defense tonight? I think the word pests would be a common theme that they would choose. And now we got a stoppage of the clock here with 4:03 to go. And some words are being exchanged. And if a couple guys have been shoving each other, and you really got to hope that this doesn't turn into something more as some of the bench players and coaches are coming onto the field. And this could get ugly if the officials do not take control of this scene. You want to make sure none of the bench players come off. As a coach, you can make sure your benches stay there. If you're the Buffaloes, you have done a nice job so far. Now the benches are getting involved. There's several players moving over to the Buffaloes bench. So it seems like cooler heads have prevailed. Matt Reeb trying to make sure all of his players stay on their side. It's been a frustrating game for the Buffaloes. They feel like they really should have been hanging with this. The score does not tell the whole story. 13 shots for the Wildcats, just 6 for the Buffaloes. But overall, they still played a solid game. It was much closer than the final score would tell you. And a red card has been distributed, I believe, to somebody on the Buffaloes sideline. And that's going to go against Unai Cruz. So his night is done. So if you're the Wildcats, you really have to be smart here because you have pretty much punched your ticket to the round of 16, and you can't have guys getting thrown out for silly reasons. Because they're going to need every player that's out there. They're going to need every player on the bench. You cannot afford to get yourself tossed and let your emotions get the better of you. They really just have to remain smart for the next 4 minutes or so, as Yarrick Carnegie has also been given a red card. So he is done, and that will affect him going forward into the next game. And that is a huge loss for the Wildcats. I know Matt Reeb is not going to be happy about that. So both teams now playing with 10 men for the final 4 minutes of play. So that is just not smart soccer from either teams. And I talked about this late in the first half, and I also talked about it early in the second. This was a relatively clean game. And I guess the broadcaster's jinx still is alive and well. Granted, it took a little longer this time to come back to bite me, but it got us. So with 3:40 to go, Wildcats lead 3-0 over the Milligan Buffaloes. And barring some miracle, this will be the first loss of the season for Milligan. They are 12-0-5. So they technically did have an undefeated season. Not a perfect season, but it was an undefeated season. this will be the first loss that they have to deal with, and it will be the end of their season as well. So we approach 3 minutes to go. Now another stoppage of play here. 2:56, the clock has stopped. As Giuseppe Santa Croce checks back in. Just looking over at the benches for both of these teams, everybody is standing up and they're kind of huddling near the edges of what is known as the coach's box, where they are not really allowed to go past. And I'm sure tensions are still high after that scuffle. Buffalo's still playing full force, trying to get something going. As Caden Wolf makes a nice catch near the edge of the 18, catches it and goes down, and then quickly gets it out to Tito Sanchez. Sanchez with a lot of space in front of him, sends it up. There was nobody really in the area. Santa Croce and CELİK, the two closest Wildcats. Montreal is able to find Carter. Carter gave him an overlap opportunity. They chose not to take it. As the Wildcats still playing with fire and intensity despite having a 3-goal lead with less than 2 minutes to go. As CELİK misses that slide tackle attempt, it's Haroldstad. Takes it into the box. As Carter goes to chase it down, it'll be a goal kick for the Wildcats. And I got to tell you about this Buffaloes team. Patty Sweeney is just his second season here as the head man for Milligan. He did a tremendous job with this ball club this season, and I think the best is yet to come for Milligan. They still got a lot of talent on this team, a lot of upperclassmen, but I think they will be good for the next few years to come. So it'll be exciting to see what Coach Sweeney does with this Buffalo team. But tonight, this is going to be one that's going to sting, and it's going to be one to remember.
1 minute remaining.
As Santa Croce is not able to get there in time. Now they switch it over to Krogh, who plays it to Haroldstad. A switch there by Salgado. And Little, a left foot clear, high and away. As the clock continues to wind. Now an over-the-top ball is played. Reinhardt with the header right back at you. Husney gets it over to Santa Croce. And the Wildcats still trying to play as Sanchez on a through ball not there. And Santa Croce will send it back to Ayes, and that is how this one will end. Your final from Marion, Indiana, the Indiana Wesleyan Wildcats 3, the Milligan Buffaloes nothing. So the Wildcats punch their ticket to Wichita, Kansas. They're heading to the round of 16. The Milligan Buffaloes, their season comes to an end on Wildcat Field. Special thanks to Indiana Wesleyan Athletics and its whole media team. And for all of them, I'm Gannon Parker saying so long, everybody.